This is really cool. So who are the growers here? Who are the people generating? How did coffee end up here in the first place?
Yeah, so how did coffee end up here in the first place? It was brought here, so legend tells us, by a French missionary about 110 years ago now, who came to the Pu'er region, to a place called Sukula, where he started his mission station, and he wanted to have coffee, and so he brought viable seeds and planted them, and they actually sprang up, and one of those trees is still alive there, and you can visit the 100-year-old coffee tree.
100-year-old coffee tree.
Yes, but that wasn't the start of coffee industry here. That was just him having his coffee. It started in the 1980s, late 1980s. Tea prices had plummeted, and tea farmers in this whole area, this way, were struggling to survive. At that time, Chinese people had started to get exposed to coffee drinking, but it was instant coffees as ready mixes with milk powder and sugar, 3 in 1. There's some really nice red wisps there. And so that was mostly Nestlé at the time. And so Nestlé made a proposal to the provincial government saying, why don't you start growing coffee? We'll equip you for that. We'll help you select the varietal and all that, and we teach the farmers how to grow coffee properly, and we'll buy that coffee, and we'll produce instant coffees for China here with Chinese coffee.
So they must have identified that this is a good region for growing coffee.
Yeah, so they already bought a lot of coffee, obviously, in other places in the world, so they are quite knowledgeable about what it takes to grow coffee, and they decided that this is viable here, and it happened. So in the late 80s, the coffees were planted. The tea trees were uprooted, instead coffee trees were planted, and after about 4 years, they had their first crops of Catimor varietal. Almost all Yunnan coffee is Catimor. They picked that because it's much more resistant to disease than other Arabicas, obviously, and because it has a very high yield.
Catimor being a hybrid of Caturra and robusta?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you go into the genealogy, then it's a hybrid of Caturra and Timor.
And Timor.
And Timor is a 50-50 hybrid of a robusta and an Arabica. So
yes.
That was created in Timor, right? That's why it's called Timor. And so it's clearly to be counted as an Arabica varietal, but because of a bit of that 25%, mathematically speaking, robusta DNA, it is a bit less complex than maybe, say, even a Typica or a Caturra, to take the example of the one Arabica varietal that's in there genetically. But it has a very good body. It has a higher caffeine content as well. It gives you a very nice crema on extraction for espressos. So with a Catimor, you actually don't need to blend in robusta in order to get that body and in order to get that crema.